My name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I am a living Christ. Today I should like to tell you the truth, the truth. Pay attention, listen quietly. Suspend your judgment, your trained indoctrination to words and ideas, and just listen. Civilized life is a satanic fiction, an illusion. You have grasped this concept of life, of civilized life, through words, much like the words that I am using. But you see, words in themselves are fictions, products of the intellectual mind, not the subconscious mind, but the intellectual mind. You have been enslaved. If you are a living man or a woman, you are the ultimate of energy, of infinite intelligence. You are at one with truth, with life itself. I have just used words, fictional words, because that's all that you are capable of understanding. That which is being communicated by this living Christ to you, a limited, satanic, indoctrinated person. Do you understand the difference between a living man or a woman and a fictional person? One is true, the other is false. And that other is the fiction of you as an indoctrinated person created by a fictional government or a fictional religion. You do know by now what a fiction is. It's a dead, memory-based reality that is held by an intellectual, programmable mind. That is why education is so important. You come into this world an infinite entity, and you are soon subjected to conditioning, of fitting in to a limited, conceptually based world. It's done by following the example of your parents, who are conditioned entities. They have sold their souls. They have agreed to become intellectual entities, so-called persons, and these subcategories of citizens. All words, they all confine consciousness into a limitedness And the more indoctrinated you are, the more educated you are, the more your natural, God-given, not God-given, because that implies duality, godlike intelligence, which is infinite because it is non-dualistic. It is true. It is what is. That is the substantive difference between the subconscious mind, the mind of non-duality, and the satanically ruled conscious intellect, the mind of duality. You're trained to be a dualistic believer, to fit in, not to be. You have sold your soul, your wholeness, your oneness, in order to be a consensual, a satanic agreement of an intellectual person. It's accomplished through the educational system, which programs you to respond to ideas. Your ideas, their ideas, it doesn't matter. You see, ideas are all limited, and the possession of that which projects it, possession, ownership, that's the power of hell. You see, we are all part, if we agree to be the part of a fictional world, a civilized world, and we find our place in it according to the energy that we bring into our world, our behavior. Hence you have the dualistic categorization of the powerful and the weak, the masters, the victims, the predators. You understand? Governments are symbolized institutions of power. It's fictional. It isn't real, but for the idea that you hold of it in your conscious intellect. You understand? In the subconscious realm, there is only the energy of what is truth, and it exerts its awareness in the living moment of now, the eternal moment of now. That is living life in the subconscious mind. That's the mind of creation, the mind of non-duality, the mind of God. For most of you, those of you listening to me now, we're in hell. We're in the hell of our own making because we are communicating at the fictional level of the me, this living Christ, and the you, whatever position that you believe yourself to be in. Hence, that is dualism. That is satanic. If you notice all of the contextual indoctrination that you are subjected to in this world of duality, comes in the form of education, of indoctrination, of government, and religions, and its propaganda arm of the media. Powerful, powerful intellectual influences which form, mold your world view. And it is constantly reinforced daily by news media, entertainment media, mystical media. But they all have one thing in common. They must deal in words, just as I am using words to communicate with you. I'm in your world, but I'm not of it. I am a living Christ, and you are an intellectual slave. You're a believer, and you submit to authority of those who posit themselves superior to you, at least intellectually superior. So you give them the power to do your thinking for you. When you do that, you fragment yourself. You limit yourself. You lose your infinite capacity to be what is, and that is God in the subconscious level of mind. That is true intelligence. Infinite intelligence. Not limited by restrictions, intellectual restrictions. But you see, you must be restricted in order for you to be controlled. And that's where schools come from. And schools are the products of the two major sides of the coin of power, satanic power. That is government, which rules by force, force of ideas, and religion, which rules by seduction, seduction of ideas. So there you have it, force and seductions. Both are satanic. Both control the behavior of the infinite man, living man or woman, who, if they live in the balance of their subconscious infinite mind and their limited conscious intellect, they are gods. They are unaffected by the illusions of the finite, intellectual believer that is called a person. The living dead, created by institutions of government that they, first of all, they form, they create. You, as a living man or a woman, are the creator of government. And government is a fiction. That is your step into hell. Oh, you don't know it because it's very seductive, but it brings you into the realm of duality, the battle of opposites that go on in your intellectual consciousness. You call that conscience. It's based in right and wrong, truth and lies. You understand? Anything that is broken up into opposites is a fiction. It's not real. But you must create, conform that into a non-dualistic conclusion that acts as truth. And then you act from that false sense of truth. It's called belief. That's how you are controlled. You're controlled by your government which is merely an idea in your head. It's a fiction. It's not real. But you give it tremendous energy. Your energy. You do that through taxes, by converting your life force into something valuable that you call money. And they extract that money, that energy from you. And they deplete you in your normal capacity of an everlasting truth, made manifest in the eternal moment of now. You see, that moment is timeless. It has no beginning. It has no end. But you live in the fictional world, which is based in time. And so you create the concept of birth. And you create the concept of death, the ending. In between the beginning, birth, and ending, you create a fictional life. And you call that civilized. I've just broken all of the satanic illusions that bind you, that make you a slave. And if you understand that, you are free, you are liberated, you have changed your world, but your world only. Those who still continue to believe in the fictions are at the mercy of the destinies that have been projected time-wise. That's how the future can be predicted. The future is nothing but the past, projected in the moment of now, which creates the future. Simply said, that's life. That's hell. Have you got it? Good. If you haven't, suffer.